Duke Nukem 3D was a hit with critics and consumers alike when he first landed on PC in '96, and why not? Duke's the embodiment of all things badass. That and the game's fun as shit. It's brimming with gore, explosions, babes, and kick-ass one-liners. It's like a Michael Bay movie. That doesn't suck. Anyway, our favorite misogynist found his way to every major platform of the time, like the Sega Saturn, Sony PlayStation, Nintendo 64, and the Mega Drive. I know, right? How could we have missed it? Well, it was only released in Brazil thanks to TecToy, Sega's official representative in South America. Up until recently, a righteous copy would have set you back a penny, but homebrew enthusiasts soon started producing their own copies for much less, though many would go by the wayside once Piko purchased the rights in 2015. I have both the official Piko release as well as a ROM hack of the TecToy original, courtesy of FanBrew Games. I'm a big fan of the classic Genesis packaging, but I feel FanBrew's red spine is more appropriate, and it actually looks like an official release. The card itself is pretty sweet. Rather than recycling the box art, we get this cool radioactive logo. It's a nice touch. Piko's box art leaves something to be desired. The artwork's really dark, and it lacks the obligatory Genesis logo. Granted, these are nitpicks. Still, I feel they should have put forth more effort. Box art matters, yo. They made up for it slightly by providing full-color instructions. Now this is what I'm talking about. Very, very nice. The games are identical with the exception of the company logos and the addition of a reticule in the Piko version. Before Duke could devastate this 16-bit landscape, many concessions had to be made. First and foremost, only one episode is featured, Lunar Apocalypse, meaning there's only 9 levels, where the original had 3 episodes and 28 levels. It may as well be a demo. Second, each and every level has been simplified to the point where they bear little resemblance to those found on PC. If anything, it adopts some of Wolfenstein's characteristics, with flat layouts and 90-degree angles. Large rooms with multiple floors are gone, as are underwater sections. This isn't a hardship now that the jetpack's been done away with, along with the scuba gear. Oh, you remember the shrinker or the freeze thrower and the laser trip bombs? You guessed it, they're all gone. I know, you're probably thinking, damn, did they take his balls too? Wait for it. Third, many of Duke's one-liners are absent. In fact, aside from choosing your difficulty or beating a level, I never hear him talk. Like, ever. You'll certainly hear him scream, though. After having seen several videos online where players breeze through these levels without a care in the universe, I hadn't the faintest idea just how difficult this game would be. Really, you think Contra Hardcore is tough? You think the adventures of Batman and Robin is harder than frozen piss? In the immortal words of Robin Williams, you don't know shit about fuck, my man. Aiming is the first serious challenge you'll face. It takes a great deal of practice because this game leaves no margin for error. It's like the hitboxes are these tiny paper targets pinned to their chests, and you gotta hit the bullseye. Piko wisely added a crosshair, though it's like getting shot in the kneecap and expecting Tua leave to numb the pain. The controls are needlessly complicated. Rather than A being the fire button, it's C. A opens doors while B strafes. If A and C were swapped, my thumb could rest on B, making it that much easier for me to avoid enemy fire while I tap A, conserving my ammo. That's really important because this fucker is really stingy with ammunition, not to mention health. It astounds me just how much damage these bastards can inflict. I can't believe this is the easy setting.
Yeah, piece of cake.
Here it is, the first fucking level, and these sentry drones can kill you in one hit. Even if you were to take them out of the equation, the assault troopers unleash holy hell, taking your life down in mere seconds. They waste no time too. Here I am in this giant fucking room, and he's way over there hitting me with sniper-like accuracy. I couldn't even see his ass. You gotta master the strafe if you expect to survive. That's easier said than done with these controls. If only I could change the button layout. Did I mention you can't pause the game by pressing start? Yeah, you gotta press start plus A and B. You wanna bring up the menu so you can save your game? It's start plus A, B, and C. Okay, as complicated as these controls are, why not just have the menu come up when you pause? Wouldn't that make more sense? You know what? Why not simplify things even more and ditch the run button? Why would you want to creep through these levels anyway? While we're at it, let's go ahead and Blair Witch that fucking map. It's hard to make out depending on the background, and it makes the game lag in the process. Now, to be fair, I did get used to the controls after 30 minutes or so. Looking past the awkward layout and unnecessary button combinations, response time is solid, so it's playable. Is that enough though? For me, I'll say yes. I can't explain it. This game may be relentless, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't give me an overwhelming sense of satisfaction whenever I beat a level. It's like, holy shit, I'm getting better! In the 4th level, Lunar Space, Duke has to spacewalk. This is a sweet idea, and it wasn't in the PC version, so yeah, sweet Mary Mother of God, it's almost impossible. The spacesuit works like every other inventory item where there's a percentage that steadily drops while in use, meaning you better move your ass. That won't be so hard since this section is swarming with drones, octobrains, and assault commanders. Even with max life, you'll lose your shit with 2 or 3 hits, if you're lucky. After a while, I tried to avoid them and dash toward one of the structures, then seriously, these drones are the worst. So often they'll just sneak up on you and explode. Thank Christ for the save function. If it were a password system, I'm not so sure I'd enjoy this as much. Damn, I sound like a masochist. After an hour of trying, I finally killed these alien bastards, found the keys, died a few more times, then hit that great big button at the fucking end. I felt like I had earned my victory, let me tell you. As for the rest of the game, there's a lot of door puzzles. Sometimes you gotta close one door in order to open the next. There's plenty of secret areas providing ammo, health, armor, and keys, so be sure to explore whenever possible. Once you get a feel for the reticule, killing aliens is a lot of fun. For me at least. The sound effects just add to the experience. Though music, once again, reminds me very much of Zero Tolerance. There's little depth to the track, but it will keep you company during those calm moments. Not much to say there, honestly. The graphics are really impressive. Remember, this was 97, 18 years before GA Sega 68K would blow our minds with his port of Wolfenstein. The border doesn't take up as much space, and the frame rate is reasonably smooth. Enemy sprites are multi-sided. There is a wealth of different textures on display, giving the environments plenty of individuality. Gore effects look fantastic, as do explosions, and do you see what I see? Obviously, it came at considerable cost, namely the length. Sure, 9 levels may not sound like a lot, but due to the maze-like nature of said levels and insane difficulty, you're in for a rough ride. This game will whip you silly and fuck you stupid. In spite of its flaws, Duke Nukem on Sega Genesis is a fun game, and a must for fans since it contains elements that never found their way to PC, like the spacewalk and stage hazards. If you want the Duke to blast your processors to Kingdom Come, go ahead and hit Piko's site and order a copy. That, or you can play Zero Tolerance again. Hooray!